Corrine Barraclough is a writer and former award-winning editor of Celebrity magazine, New Weekly. She's also a regular contributor to The Spectator Australia and has been covering the Me Too movement from the beginning. She joins me now. Corrine, thanks so much for your time. What did you make of Spicer's excuse that she expected the ABC to keep secret the names and information that these women had actually expected Spicer herself to keep secret?
Oh, honestly, in short, it's not good enough, is it? You know, these women, as far as I understand it, having read very carefully through everything today, these women contacted Tracy Spicer directly. They direct messaged her, so that was private messages. One of those included a 59-year-old woman who'd been gang raped, whose name was clearly on screen. And when she was approached for comment in relation to this story, she said, "This is the first I've heard about the documentary." And that, Andrew, seems to me to be the real crux of the issue here. It's one thing that these women entrusted their personal stories to Tracy Spicer, but it doesn't sound to me from those words that these women were then told anything about the documentary, let alone permission to be included, let alone being named, let alone having their photograph included. It seems to me incredibly unprofessional. It seems incredibly unethical. Where's the duty of care here? You know, you've got a question mark here, I think, over Tracy Spicer doing the right thing, let alone common courtesy to the people who've entrusted her. It's a huge betrayal of trust, I think. You know, these women have trusted her with incredibly sensitive personal stories, and it doesn't sound like the right thing has been done by them. And then you've also got the other side of this, which is obviously the ABC, our lovely friends at the ABC, who've been forced now to issue their second apology within a week. You know, last week we had the Q&A fiasco, and then today we've got this. It's one domino after another, isn't it?
Well, it seems the women are being used a little bit as fodder in a wider war rather than as people. Well, it seems to me it may be totally unfair to Tracy Spicer. I'm sure has got heart in the right spot. But what does all this tell you? What does this suggest to you about the Me Too movement? You know, has the Me Too movement done more harm than good at the moment, at least here?
I think it was destructive from the very beginning, really, because it's not based on truth. Men aren't all evil perpetrators. We've got to remember that at the very heart of the Me Too movement sits feminist theory that men are evil perpetrators and women are innocent victims. And the Me Too is just another version of that, playing out, basically. It was never based on truth. It's incredibly divisive. It's very destructive. And I think, ultimately, it's been a disaster for men and women. You know, The Australian reported very recently, it was a study from the University of Houston, which showed that the Me Too backlash has basically costing women opportunities in the workplace. So please tell me how that is a good thing.
Corrine Barraclough, well said. I think we'll need to have you back on the show to explore some of these issues a bit further. Thank you so much indeed for your time.
Thanks for having me.